Hey guys, this is HomeWise Workshop. Today we're going to look at a ski rack. Okay, let's start with the materials that I used here. This is a 1x8x8 pressure treated piece of lumber. For whatever reason, that was the only lumber in that size, pressure treated. This is inside in the garage. I did not need that, but I needed the exact size. Of course, with nominal sizes, 1x8x8, this in fact is only about a 7 1/4 on the width, and it is about 3/4 of an inch thick. What I did here is I had cut this down to size. Like I said, it was an 8-foot board. I cut this to exactly 52 inches, okay? What I have here to hold the actual skis is called gravity grabbers. So you can see they push up and then squeeze the skis to where they'll stay in place. I took this board, I cut it down to 52 inches, I sanded it, I then painted it the white color to match the wall. Within this 52-inch width or length area, I positioned the gravity grabbers approximately every 4 inches. And I did that by marking a line exactly where I wanted it, covering up that line with a gravity grabber and then sinking in the screws. So the gravity grabber does come with screws to screw into my board here. These are pretty expensive, but I will say it is worth the cost with the look. It's very clean, and it does not damage your skis with the kind of material this is. It also has a spot you can see here for your ski poles. So like I said, I tried to position these 4 inches apart. That was the best distance that I could find. You can see that there's no touching. You have a nice clean area here between our adult skis that we have here. One thing I'd like to mention too is the positioning on the board. You can see here I left a little bit of room on either side. So the bottom is approximately 3/4 of an inch, and the top is approximately 1/4 inch. And I attempted to get these as in the middle as possible. You can see I failed a little bit there, but I think it still looks good, still looks uniform, in a good order. So one thing I struggled with here is, I don't know if you can see up here, but I actually had mounted this entire setup too high. I had it I had that 7-inch board. It was started like right here and came down. I thought because our skis are fairly long that I would need to have it high. But as you can see here, the gravity grabber, I have that down like 1/4 of the way on the ski. I don't have the ski all the way up here. As far as how far from the ground this is, I have this at about 66.5 inches. Now that is not a very a round number, and the reason why I did that is I had, of course, I just let you know I had mounted it too high. I basically brought it down to where the top of this was now at the bottom of where I had originally had it, attempting to cover up some holes and some other things back there. Also, I set this up, I put my skis in, and I kind of messed around with how far I'd like them off the ground and how much clearance I would like before my head rack up here. And I can show you that with a different angle. So that is something else I kind of struggled with in this project, was how high to have this, and that's about 66.5 inches. from the ground. Now, let me show you a little bit about my setup here. You can see here that I have this overhead rack for different storage items, some blankets and some different totes. So I had that to contend with as far as the height of the skis and how tall they're gonna be. And this is the setup, you know, down to the ground. So you can see here, I still have plenty of clearance off the ground for the skis. These are adult skis. Mine are 166s, and my wife's are a little bit smaller than that, you can see. One other thing I'd like to mention here, or I guess additionally, let's get a little bit closer and let's go ahead and have a closer look at the gravity grabbers themselves. Okay, so here we go. Again, I just wanted to kind of demonstrate how these work. You push up and the skis will go in. You have these areas for your skis. So come back from the mountain, take them out of our ski box and put them right here for them to dry off. They'll dry off right down to the concrete on the garage, and no issue there. And then when we're ready to go back to the mountain, easy to take them from where they are here and put them back in the ski box. So just to demonstrate how these work, I'm taking the skis off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and typically I'll use my left hand here to then position it. You can see you can put these in any sort of area if you'd like to have it lower. Probably don't want it to squeeze that together, but you can have it low, or like I do, about a quarter of the way down is where I have it grab it. Same with my skis here. Take them out, lift, put them on, or put it in, and it grabs it. And again, these holders here work great for my poles, to where those can hang right from there. They kind of slip in right behind the skis to look nice and clean. And I've done a 4 gravity grabber setup for our family's skis. One other pro tip I'd like to mention about this, since this board is the 52 inches long, I was able to secure this to 3 different studs. So I started here, securing here. I believe the other screws are actually under this gravity grabber here to where I'm into that stud. And then I was able to secure into a 3rd stud here. So this thing is super solid, not coming off. I could definitely hang off that. One other pro tip that I like to do with most of my projects is hide the bolts, or the screws, excuse me. Like I said, the ones for the middle stud here are behind, I believe, one of these gravity grabbers. But for over here, of course, they were exposed, the screw heads I'm talking about. So I think I put in two screws, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. And what I like to do is sink in the screw head past the level of the board. I then putty it, I sand it down, and then I paint over it. And what that does is you have no visibility of how this is secured to the wall. It just makes it look cleaner, neater, more professional. And if you come up here, I can show a close-up, but you have a really hard time seeing where those screws actually go in. And I think it just adds to the build. So let me see. I think you can, if I come up real close, you can see where they are. So there's 1, and there's 2. But you can see that that's very smooth. And really, if you weren't specifically looking for it or trying to find it, you would never see it. So that contributes to just the clean look here. Of course, I went with the all white. These gravity grabbers come in all kinds of different colors because my garage is painted white. And anything that I've done, hung up on the wall, or anything that I do, I try to keep white to blend in with the wall and make it less noticeable. So I'll give you one more shot of the setup and how it works, and can kind of show you to the floor and back up to the gravity grabber. And so with that, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. You have any questions, let me know. This was HomeWise Workshop. Thanks.